Right, how the devil are you guys? It's Rabidon here with William back in the Dalish camp on Dragon Age Origins, and yeah, we've helped the elves with their little beastie problem. And yeah, Zafrian sacrificed himself in the end. Only took a bit of a beating to convince him, but he did the right thing eventually. I think what's next is we're going to go back to camp. Yeah, we're going to go back to camp, as in our camp. And then we're going to clear our inventory, chat to everybody, make sure everyone's happy. And then we're going to march north past this Draken River into Denerim. Yeah, that's where we're going next. But first, camp. Might even say goodbye to whoever this is. Hello, Mithra, again.
I understand we will be joining you in battle as soon as the hunters have recovered. I look forward to it.
You're welcome. Right. So, onwards.
So, you know about him and Morrigan, right? You've heard?
I think I know what you're talking about, yes.
And do you agree with it? You don't think that it's dangerous?
Dangerous for whom? Her or him?
Anyone. She's Malefica and rotten to the core. How could he even... this can't be a good idea. She can't be a good influence on him.
I will admit that the thought did cross my mind several times. But look at it another way. Perhaps he will be a good influence on her.
You know, you are just too understanding about stuff like this. Can't you be more judgmental? I'm trying to rant here.
Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead and rant, dear. And I'll just nod my head if you like.
You know I can hear you. Yeah? You do know I can hear you. Yeah? And as for her being rotten to the core, I would know. I've seen her car. To camp. Right, you know how this works. I'm going to give out the gifts, do my inventory management, sell the junk, that sort of stuff. I'll come back if there's any interesting conversations. I won't let you miss those. But yeah, hopefully next time you see me, I'll be stood like this. You never know. Right, here you go. Where is she? Liliana. Just His Grace. I believe you wanted this.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Right, Major Cunning. Let's have a quick chat.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
Yeah, I'm not kind of in a hurry for that though.
It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving.
True. Where did she get the musical accompaniment? Okay, I still want to know where the music's coming from. Granted, you're soothing my dog. Oh, at least it's soothing Sten. What do you think, Alistair, there in your brother's royal armour? Yeah. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, Ogren, you have the right sort of attitude to that. Right, excuse me, but
Something I can help with?
what was all that singing about? Yeah, let's have a quick chat.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Nothing. Never mind. Right. Let's have a chat to everybody else.
Come to talk to old Ogren, have you? Don't know why.
Come to see how much food you get in your beard and how long it takes you to wash it. Anyway, what's wrong, Ogren?
Nothing. I'm fine. Just, I got a hornet in my eye is all. Did you want to talk about something?
Ah. Well, just like to know more about you.
What about?
How'd you like the surface?
It's sodding great. At first I was a little queasy with all that air, but there's just so much of it. No one has any idea who you are or what you're doing. And the ale. Oh, who'd have thought? Ale made with grain. Aye, the surface is great. It's like a big, bright world of filth without a ceiling. My kind of place. Hey, let's go find something to kill, huh? All this talk makes my hands twitchy.
Okay, but we haven't finished, have we? No, I'll talk to you later. You obviously didn't want to chat. Who to talk to next? Zev, how are you doing?
What say you?
Yeah, any questions?
By all means.
Okay. What's your opinion of the Dalish?
I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And then, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book.
Okay. Was he a father?
How should I know? My mother was a whore, as you'll recall. None of the other elven boys in the whorehouse knew their fathers. I was not so unusual. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear.
And yet you're oddly cheerful about it all.
It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all.
You could say that again, I suppose. My life was going smoothly, and then my family got betrayed.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me.
Okay.
Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful.
Oh, like the ones I gave you.
Hidden, of course,
yeah.
as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
Okay, but what about the Dalish in general?
I don't feel anything about them. Oh, we heard about them in the city. even deep in Antiva. I even had the notion once to run off and join them.
Yeah.
Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Okay. Now we'll chat again later. Right. Well, Alistair, how you doing?
Something on your mind?
Questions?
Of course.
Alright. Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Okay. Don't ever think I've seen you wearing it.
I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. Brings a tear to the eyes, you know.
Okay. And what's the real reason?
You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Yeah, I do kind of want to know. I mean, I'm trying to get to know everybody.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right?
No,
Truth
just a
of
dragon.
The matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
Well, you know, what did you enjoy?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you?
Okay.
Do you have anywhere you consider home?
My home was taken over by Al Howe.
Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again.
Yes.
Seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
Oh, I don't think so. They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow,
Nope.
now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Yes. You make a good point. Right. Who have I not spoke to? We've not been in camp for a while. Wynn's pretty much happy at the minute. Let's have a quick chat to Sten.
I have been mistaken.
What do you mean?
You are a soldier worthy to stand among the Beresad. I did not think so when we first met.
Oh, yeah, what's changed your mind?
You did, of course. The day will
Oh,
come
yeah.
when the Arishok sends us here. On that day, I will not look to find you on the battlefield.
So, the Canary are going to invade Ferelden?
In time. There is no point in dwelling on it. We should move on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
Enough.
I suggest we move on.
Let's go.
As you wish.
Right. Where I've not spoken to Shale and Morrigan yet. Let's have a quick chat. Shale, how you doing, me old
It
ducker?
speaks.
I do. You're still with me.
Yes, its adventures are interesting, even if the chances for success are remarkably slim. It would be better to throw oneself off a cliff, I suspect. Does
I
it
can
wish me to
get on
leave?
your shoulders and
I
jump
can,
off.
though I see no reason to go.
No, you're quite helpful.
No doubt. Without me, it would have to carry its inventory on its own.
This is true.
Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
Well, I was going to have a
It
proper chat.
speaks.
Yes, it does. Questions?
It doesn't have better things to do.
It doesn't, no. So... Right. So you're female. I had no idea, and I don't think you did either.
I did not think it needed to be said. It has never told me what gender it is, has it?
True. And I'm not made of rock, but I am male.
Good for it. I am sure that to other creatures as soft and weak as itself, that would be perfectly obvious.
Good.
The truth is that whatever gender I was is irrelevant now. I am a golem. I have no gender. It will not become an issue.
You're just cuter than before, weird. Oh dear. No, not at all.
Good. Let us leave it at that. Now, let us crush something soft and watch it fountain blood. That is a girlish thing to want to do, yes?
Actually, it is. Depends on the girls. Right, Morrigan. How are we doing?
'Tis cold in my tent, all alone.
Oh. And what do you want me to do about it? Then get a thicker blanket. Well, we can't have that. Excuse me, boys and girls.
So you shall come to my tent? But whatever shall we do in that tiny little space together while we wait for it to warm?
Ooh. I'm sure we'll think of something.
Good. Then let us waste no more time with foolish talk.
And neither of them lost their strands of hair.
I see the stories they tell of Grey Warden endurance are not exaggerated.
Well, there are stories, are there?
Indeed there are. The unanswered question, of course, is whether the endurance exists because of the taint within you, or because the Grey Wardens are by nature so very healthy. I enjoy the thought that 'tis a little of both. Natural prowess, driven by a darker side.
Okay. So what now then?
That is entirely up to you. Simply know that I have no designs on your independence. I wish only to do what I desire, and if that coincides with what you desire, then so be it. And should you decide not to continue our misadventure, then so be it. Very simple, is it not?
Okay. Well, I was that kind of boy in the village. But, you know, how it is. What about love? Does that enter the picture for you? Not that I'm saying I'm in love with you, but, you know what I'm saying. This sort of thing can only lead to certain outcomes. And I don't really know what you were taught while you were living in a hut with a dragon shape-shifting lady.
Oh, now you ruin the mood by speaking profanities. Silly man.
Oh dear.
Come then, let us be off before the others begin to stare.
Considering your tent is pretty much open, I think they've seen everything they needed to see. Right, yeah. Let's just have a quick chat. Bowden, where are you?
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road.
Yeah, anyway, what's your story? You've been hanging around for quite a while, so let's find out.
I suppose since you told me about you being a Grey Warden, it's only fitting for me to be as open. I
Please.
am originally from Orzammar, the famed dwarven city that lies beneath the stately Frostback Mountains. I was a
Yeah,
merchant
we've just
there
been there.
too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
So, yeah, Lost Glory, I'm assuming you mean all the other things.
Our kingdoms once spanned the length of Thados, from majestic Orzammar to Kal Sharok to glittering Darmalin far to the west. They say the gold and silver veins ran so thick through the stone of Darmalin that the entire city sparkled.
Okay.
The Darkspawn took it all, of course. One by one, the old Tigers fell, and then all that was left was Orzammar. But we were talking about how I ended up here, weren't we? One day,
Yes.
a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
Ah. So what happened then? Because, let me guess. The whole... I'm not going to accuse you of stealing them because I've been to Orzammar. The whole get out there, find us keepers and, you know, retrieve useful equipment. I don't really see that as grave robbing because they're not in graves.
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The
Yeah,
lost
that's what I'm getting.
tigers. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold.
Yeah, well, yeah, better to do something with it than leave it to rot. I mean, if they're not buried, they're not grave robbing either.
That's exactly how I see it. The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
Ah. And now here you are.
Yes, here I am. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
Not really. You didn't mention your son in your tale. Yeah, that's true.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here. I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right,
Yes.
boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
Yeah. Generous.
It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
Right. But, yeah, these goods aren't going to come from the deep roads, I assume.
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the Lost Tigers, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember.
I'm not
It's
accusing
all
you,
that
I'm just
different up
asking.
Here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
What do you mean, then?
People flee from the Blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
Well, suppose it's better than letting the Darkspawn take it all. And you never know. Some people might actually pay to have the stuff back. If you're lucky.
That's what I tell myself, too. Ah, these are dark times indeed. Dark times, my friend.
Right. And while we're here, have you heard any rumours?
The Darkspawn have attacked Lothering. I don't think everyone even had fled by the time they came, either. Word has it they swarmed the entire area, making off with prisoners and burning down the buildings. And then they were gone. Just as quick. I wonder if there's anyone left. I heard some chanters were going to head down south, maybe to try to find some survivors. I'm not holding out hope myself. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Well, I'm sure people fled far and wide.
Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
Yep, see you later. Bye. So he plunders, does he? No, who cares? Right. It's better in my pocket. Because, let's face it, it's us versus the Darkspawn. Right, where are we up to? We're up to leaving, basically. We had a quick map around. Right, next is Denerim. So we will be leaving and heading to Denerim next time. We've had a Chidwag, we've given the gifts out, we've caught up with people. We've tested our stamina. And yeah, that sort of thing. Right. Bye bye for now.